Started, right?
Yes, I can see the icon.
I start. Hello, welcome to Bridge the Beach, a podcast by ISME where we talk to entrepreneurs and know about their journey. I, Grishma Gala and Janvi Jain are your hosts for the day. Today we have Ms. Jyot Rekhi as a guest with us. Her most recent venture is Hexa Health Dimensions Private Limited. The main aim of the organization is to create awareness about one's own personality and behavior patterns in order to elevate the physical, mental, and emotional well being of every individual. She also has three other startups in her name. So, now let's start this conversation. Hello, Jyot. How are you?
Hi, Grishma. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm perfectly fine. So, let's start with Janvi.
So where are you from? Like Mumbai, born and brought up in Mumbai or someplace else?
Oh, I'm very much born and brought up in Mumbai itself. And I think all my schooling, all my education, everything has happened in Mumbai.
So it's like, do you have a place which inspired you to be who you are, or someone who inspired you, like person or place? Sometimes it's like a place which inspires us, or a person who inspires us. So what about you?
Uh, okay. So I think for me, my major source of inspiration has been people, the people around me, right? Like starting from my mom. So my mom has been my biggest source of inspiration. I remember when I was 4 years old, she used to, go outside and she used to learn yoga back then. And she was doing it for her own personal development and growth back then. But, leaving us back at home and then coming back and then again managing family. And eventually she took up the passion as also a platform to help other women. So she slowly, gradually, she started taking yoga sessions herself, and that required her to, stay of out of house for almost like, you know, almost 6 to 8 hours a day, and then again coming back home and then, taking care of the family, and in the process, she also was educating herself on the thing that she had learned, right, on the craft that she had learned. And I think she has been my biggest source of inspiration because so much of multitasking and having that, stable mind still to be able to manage everything and everyone is something that is very difficult to do. But yeah, since I have always seen her do that, I think that gives me the strength, and that gives me, I would say, that belief that yes, it is possible to do a lot of things. And besides her, uh, my father has played a very key role. My sister has played a very key role. So almost, I think every person that I've met, right, my coach, my mentors. So every person has, inspired me in some or the other way to be able to reach where I am today, or probably, to be who I am today.
That actually sums up, like totally explains what you are. That's really nice.
Right.
The next question I would like to ask is generally we spent 18 to like 20 years, say, in our school and colleges. So, anything that you have learned there that has helped you in your later life, like in the struggle and anything?
Okay, I think I should share some insights here. Since the age of 7, I have been, playing badminton, and it was like a hobby earlier. Later on, which went on to become a very serious part of my entire life. And I've been playing competitive badminton since then, and because of which I had to skip school a lot of times. So after the age of I think 12, I have not attended school much. So till my 10th grade, I was hardly attending school. So I was only going for, appearing for my exams. And the rest of the times I was practicing. I was on the court practicing twice a day. Uh, so the days that I did go to school, uh, yes, I did realize, I did understand what is it that I don't want to do. Okay. Or probably what is it that I would like to improvise on if I had control, like if I was the principal of the school, okay, or if I was managing the education system, what is it that I would like to improvise from that point of view, right? That helps me as a child grow in the field that I'm very much passionate about. Likewise, with college, I would say I'm not a very studious person. Okay. I'm probably one of the worst engineers that you might come across. Uh, and yeah, so I never really enjoyed theory as much as practical because I'm more of a person who learns by doing things rather than just mugging up, answers. And that's one thing that I definitely learned from my school and from my experience in college. I learned what is it that I don't want to do. Okay. And that kind of helped me eliminate a lot of options where I see today a lot of people getting stuck, right? Whether should I do this, should I do that? So I think that clarity was something that I had started getting since my schooling days, and it continued till my college days, until unless I could finally take a decision that okay, this is for sure. I don't want to continue anything with respect to this. There's something else waiting for me.
Speaking about clarity, we have observed with us and with all the college students, we are still very unclear on what to do further, like masters, job, or anything.
I
So
know.
that's a very, like, to sum up, like, I would point that the badminton incident one that made you clearly realize, I don't want this. That must happen to every one of us, so that we realize that. Okay.
Right.
So it's like you start planned like you will have your own start
Sorry,
from own, or it was like something in the video.
connecting.
My video
So
is
just a
Sorry,
second.
voices.
yeah, something. Hmm.
वापस पूछ ले.
Uh-huh. Okay, so did you plan for this startup from the beginning, or did the idea occur to you later?
Okay. So there's this funny thing. Okay. So again, talking about my passion, okay, which is badminton. So I used to play for college as well. So 2014, I decided to, give it my best in the sport. Okay. And I honestly didn't have the courage to tell my parents. Okay. Let me give you a little bit more. Can I answer that question again?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Okay. Let me take like a retake. Okay. I think when I was in my 10th grade, I had decided to take up education over badminton. Okay. And that's where I had a gap of almost 6 years uh, when I was, pursuing my graduation in engineering. So I had a 6 years gap with respect to the game. Uh, as soon as I graduated, I decided that I want to, pursue this passion of mine because I don't know, maybe if I get settled later at the age of 40, I might think of giving it a try and pursuing it, but that might be too late, or perhaps I might not even have that much time with me. I don't know. Right? So it was a very difficult question that I asked myself whether I want to do this now or I want to do this later. And the question was, I don't know if I have later. So let's just do this now. Okay. And I decided to pursue playing again. And that's exactly when I was also having opportunities to work in a job. Okay. I did end up getting a job, which I eventually left in half a day. The only reason was I was crystal clear that it is not going to give me the time for my practice, which can help me take this up as a professional career. So my problem at that time, okay, after my graduation, was very clear to me that I wanted to do something which gives me time, okay, enough time for practicing, practicing the game basically, right? And I realized that if I take up a job, it's not going to solve my purpose, my problem basically. And the only other option left was to start a business. So having a startup was not something which was pre-planned. It was not that I read Robert Kiyosaki's book and I was like, okay, I want to start a business of my own. Okay, definitely a lot of things played a key role, but I think that was the only option left for me, that I do not want to pursue masters. I do not want to take a job. The only option left is I do something of my own. And back then the startup culture was very new. Okay, it was like अभी जैसा craze है, okay, startup, right? Back then there was nothing like that. So my only intent was to find a solution to my problem, which is I need more time for myself. Okay, and the only option left was start something of my own, and that's it. This was the only reason why I jumped into a startup. The funny thing is that I get to know 2 years, 2.5 years down the line that, okay, I have a startup. It's, starting a business now is known as, having your own startup. Because back then there was no startup culture as such. So yeah, it is just basically, starting a business.
Okay, so we know that you have more than one startup, right? And they are from different fields. So can you say something about them? Like maybe all of them?
Okay. So my first startup it was a wedding planning firm. Okay, it's called Weds and Tales, which I built with a friend of mine, and it was into basically event management. I had no idea about it, but again, like I said, I needed more time, and I needed to prove myself that, okay, I can support my own needs at that point of time, like financial needs, uh, to be able to grow in life. So yeah, so that was the wedding planning firm that we started with, a small humble team, but we were doing pretty well. Soon after that, we started with an institute. So Weds and Tales happened in January 2015. And in March 2015, we came across another opportunity wherein, it was totally based on a very new concept, okay, wherein we realized that a human mind is worth much more and is capable of much more than we actually know of it. And we started slowly, gradually, with my mom's support. So my mom was the one who was very much keen on taking that concept ahead, and I joined her and I started helping her with it, and that's how we started with our own institute. And slowly, gradually, when we started building it, we did realize that, apart from solving our own problems, we are now also able to solve other people's problems. So that is what, motivated us a lot. We were making a lot of impact in the lives of children and parents, and that kept us going. Slowly, gradually, in 2019, we started an online platform where we did realize that, whatever we were doing, it was very much limited to a particular location, right? And we realized that we want to make a bigger impact, and that's where we thought of starting with an online platform through which we can cater to people across various geography. So in 2019, Hexa Health Dimensions was born, wherein everything that we do has been absorbed in the company as well. And we are now conducting these sessions online instead of what used to happen earlier. was offline. So that's how third venture was born. And the fourth one was the most interesting one, and something which is very close to my heart as well, which is Y. So Y is again a subsidiary of Hexahealth Dimensions. Y is an acronym for Who Am I? So basically, uh, you want me to give you a story of how I started with it, or where it?
Yes. No, it's story. It's right.
So in 2019, I had a major injury, okay, because of which my leg was in a cast and I was bedridden for almost 2 months. So all my daily activities were stopped. Okay, so there was no running around. It was just me and my books, okay, and my thoughts. And I was recommended, a book which is Laws of the Spirit World. Okay, recommended by one of my mentors, Mr. Yanish Finger. And when I read that book, I did realize, okay, this is more like a spiritual connect, but I did realize that we end up living all our life without really understanding who we are. Okay, and we keep on looking for these answers. We keep on looking for approvals from outside ourselves, like from our family, from our friends, right? Just to understand who we are as an individual. So what if we can already, right? We can help people understand better who they are, who they are in, what their inborn potential is. What is it that they are really capable of doing? What if we can tell them that, right? They will save 40, 50 years of their life,
True.
right? Just trying to figure out the answers to the most important question. And that's where the idea came, and that's where we slowly gradually started working on it. And yeah, in 2020 we did launch it, and it's building, it's still going on. We are definitely trying to help a lot of people through that. You just have to excuse me for a minute.
You pause होता है.
Hello.
Yes.
I,
Okay, am I can we talk in between? You're gonna cut the shots, right?
Yes.
we are going to.
Are the answers too long? You want me to make them much more
No,
precise?
no, they are very
No.
nice and awesome. Shall I continue?
Does that solve? Does that answer the question?
Yeah, that helps.
Okay.
So, talking about mentors, you have many mentors in your life, from what I understood till now. So, how did you meet them?
Interesting. Okay. So when I talk about mentors, I think a mentor can be anyone that who inspires you, who uh, questions your answers, and who is there like a mirror in front of you to tell you where you're going wrong, where you have to improve on, right? So there have been many mentors, and I say mentors. It's not just these uh, people that I came across or I went out to find on my own. Okay, my mom is a mentor to me. Okay, my dog at times. Okay, so she can't talk, but then there are certain times where she just questions back, right, in a very subtle way. Then there are people whom I look up to, probably whom I've never met in my life. Okay, but probably just when I go through their videos, right, on YouTube, I definitely learn from people. There are so many questions that they ask, which I then ask my own self to find my answers. That's one. And yes, through a lot of engagements. So this entire journey has been about meeting new people. Okay. So I keep on meeting new people. I keep on building new relationships. And that's where, when it connects with someone and you know that this person knows exactly, has gone through the experience that you are going through right now, or you might go through in the future, right? That's the person whom I consider as a mentor. So I did meet a lot of people through networking activities, a lot of people with whom I am still in touch with. Maybe we do not work on a regular basis, but I'm still in touch with them just to take their guidance, just to understand, whether I'm on the right track or not. So yeah, it's more like you find them, uh, or probably they find you.
Yeah, true that. We all need mentors so that we avoid the mistakes that they have already made and make new ones.
Right.
Okay, so moving on, why did you move from one venture to other? Because your first venture that was already success, and then you started other, but that was again successful. Then you started other. So why did you move?
See, talking about success, uh, one thing I would just like to highlight here is I think there is no end to success. So yes, we do achieve milestones, but I think those milestones just help us to set further new milestones, right? So success is like, it's like a vision, you never reach there. Okay. But yes, when you talk about different ventures, so like I explained earlier, um, my only major problem that time was that I wanted more time for myself. Okay, and this was the problem that I was looking at solving for my own self. When I started with the wedding planning firm, it happened just the other way around. Okay, and I think a lot of people who have their own startups will be able to relate with this. So when you start something of your own, you don't work 8 hours a day. You work 24 hours a day. Even in your sleep, you are still calculating, you're still trying to figure out answers to your problems. Okay. So that's what got me crazy. Okay. So I happened to participate. I happened to give my entry for the national tournament that time. And I could not make it for the tournament because I had an event coming up next month. And I had to prepare for that event almost 35 days prior to it. And that's where I realized that maybe this is not the right thing. This is not something that is going to give me enough time, freedom for myself. And that again started, you know, the set of questions in my mind. What is it that can give me time, freedom? Right? Is there a business that can definitely give me time, freedom? Right? And that's where when I started questioning myself, almost after say about 6 to 8 months, the opportunities kept coming in, and slowly, gradually, with the help of a lot of people, a lot of amazing set of entrepreneurs, right? I realized that yes, there is a way to have your own business and to have time freedom too. So, uh,
So,
it, yeah, so that's how the entire, you know, shifting from one field to another field kept on happening. Eventually, now to a point, since 2019, I'm, I'm able to reach that stage where I am getting that time freedom as well as I'm able to manage my business.
do you still play badminton
Yeah.
professionally?
Minimum 3 hours a day is the practice that I do. I am aiming to make it 5 hours a day. Yeah, I started with I started taking coaching again in 2016. So ever since then, weekdays are for the game majorly. I try to work for almost like 3 to 4, 5 hours a day. The rest of the time is devoted for the game. Wherein weekends I am totally working. So I compensate my work time on weekends.
That's generally ulta for people. Weekend they play and full week they work.
Yeah, so that's the next thing that I have in mind, right? To be able to create a platform or an opportunity for people to pursue, their passion for 5 days a week and having to work
Oh,
2 days a week.
so talking about badminton and core ventures, how do you manage all of them? Because all of them are like in different fields. So is it fun and challenging, and how do you divert your focus?
It's a lot of fun, a lot of excitement. You'll never see me not excited. Okay, I'm always excited. Okay, and I embrace challenges. So I love it when there is a challenge, coming my way. I am so excited to learn something out of it, and I'm eagerly waiting to, you know, uh, fix those missing pieces of the puzzle. So how do I manage my time? Is uh, I cannot do everything at once. I did realize very early that, if things have to run, we definitely need a team, and we are still a very pretty small team, but yeah, so a lot of tasks have been delegated. Uh, with respect to my first venture, the wedding planning event, it's a total failure right now, I would say. Because honestly, we did try to set up teams there a couple of times, but nothing really worked out. So on the that's not in view right now. But yeah, there are things happening, operations happening, but at a very minimal level. With respect to our institute that we had, those services have been absorbed in Hexa itself in the online platform. So that's how we have kept it alive. We are running the show, with the help of other panel members and other team members that we have, who are taking care of it. And yeah, even I learned that time management is definitely the key to success, because ultimately it's all about how you manage your time consistently, right? And my schedule is pretty unusual than any other person my age. There are a lot of things that I have to sacrifice on, uh, like family functions, events, hanging out with friends. I still do, make sure that I am there at least some special occasions. But yeah, most of the times you have to sacrifice a lot of other things, and focus, or find that even one extra minute or one extra hour that you can take out uh, to fix something that is missing or that needs to be worked upon.
So, speaking about time and how you manage them, what keeps your thrill intact? Like, don't you ever lose focus anywhere?
Sorry, come again. I missed your
What
question.
keeps your thrill intact? Like, don't you ever get bored in any of the four ventures or your busy schedule?
Don't I get bored? I don't know what is boredom, to be honest. So I have never, I think, I've never had the time to experience what it feels to be bored. So yeah, like I said, if you are constantly working on something, there will definitely be challenges coming up, right? And that is what excites me, that keeps the thrill coming. So one thing gets over, the other comes in, and it's like a cycle. It keeps on going on. So the thrill is always there.
Yeah, so one question I had, you said that Hexa Health Dimensions is online, right? And the venture before that was offline. So, what change of culture or the audience responses I can say when you converted from offline to online?
Yeah. So I think when we started in 2019 as an online platform, we were so excited and we're like, okay, this is going to be an online thing. We're going to reach out to so many people, right? As if everybody is waiting there to, for us to show up. So the first entire year was a total flop, okay, because people prefer face to face. Nobody liked online back then. But I think a major contribution or yeah, a major reason why things worked out for us was the pandemic, to be honest. So it accelerated our entire process. What we were further after the failure in 2019, what we were thinking it would take us 3 to 4 years to build. I think that entire thing accelerated for us, and we were able to do it by the end of 2020. So now the company is where it was thought to be in 2022 or 2023. We've reached there. But yeah, I think it has all got to do with the right timing. I mean, if we would not have been prepared in 2019, I think we would not have been able to make it up by the end of 2020 as well.
You were already prepared for a situation that was not foreseen.
Yeah,
But
it was.
then you were prepared.
Yeah.
Janvi,
How has being an entrepreneur changed your life?
Uh, I think the most
Like one most important you must have learned. One most important thing.
yeah, I'm coming to that. I think the most important thing that I learned after becoming an entrepreneur is to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to first be a good human being, not just a good human being. You have to be a better daughter, you have to be a better sister, you have to be a better friend. Okay, so earlier back then, I never really understood what it means or why is it important to be a better daughter, to be a better friend, okay, or just to be a better citizen of a particular country, right? But I think this entire journey of entrepreneurship has helped me realize and made it very clear why uh, to have success in my business, I also have to be, a successful daughter or successful human being. When I say successful here, it means, constantly trying to become a better person or better daughter or whatever role you are playing. Because again, I would like to say that, one of my mentors in one of our training camps had mentioned that how you do anything is how you do everything. You as an entrepreneur and you as a human being are very much related. They are not two different things. So yeah, I think it has helped me, this entire journey has helped me become a better person.
So what has been your most satisfying moment in the business? Like it's like
Okay. Satisfying moment, I would say. So since I was a kid, uh, I always had this feeling of wanting to give back to my parents uh, in whatever way I can, right? Because I feel that they have done everything possible that they could to help me grow as a sports person or even probably as a student, right? So I always wanted to give back something to them. And I think one thing that I did realize during this entire journey is the power of dreams. And I remember I used to pester my mom and dad and ask them what is their dream. I used to ask my granny what is her dream. So I think this helped me to understand them better, okay, who they are, see the side of them which I had never seen before, okay. And when they did share their dreams with me, my intent was to make that, come true, right? That became my priority. And when I could do that, like, let me just give you a very small example. Um, so my dad has a dream of going for a world tour, okay? And our entire business was localized. So my mom, she's a working professional, and dad was also into business. So they were confined and they had to be there in order for the business to run. So when we started with Hexa, so my mom is also a panelist on Hexa, and now her entire operations are happening online. So she's free to move around anywhere and everywhere, continue with her work, as well as enjoy their, personal time together as a couple, and just travel anywhere that they want to. So this, dream of my dad and my mom, uh, when I could fulfill that, I think that was the most satisfying moment where I felt, okay, कुछ किया, कुछ important किया life में. I think I can't put a price tag on that. So
That's great. Oh, fulfilling dreams is not your own, your families or your friends. When you have the capability to do that, that is like I can say whole out of the world feeling.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so your startup is a combination of like health, mind, and it infuses technology. It's an uh, I can say amalgamation of all the things we need now in our life. So where did you notice the problem that you are solving? So you came up with this idea so that it will help people and help us.
I think it did not happen overnight. It was a process. It happened every single day was important, right? Every single what do you say, incidents, or every situation that I came across, right, taught me something or the other, which eventually helped me to come up to this conclusion that, okay, this is something which is going to solve the problem of people that I am associated with, right? So that's how it just kept on coming in, and then we kept on looking for best methods, best ways in which we can grow, in which we can solve problems of not just our own problems, but now the idea was to solve other people's problems as well. And that's where the mind started working, and we were already working in the field of mind and empowering the brain, right? And my mom has been into the health and wellness industry since the past 25 years, so she plays a key role in that segment. And we did realize that if we have to reach out to bigger number of people, we have to come online. So that's where IT plays a very key role, right? So it just happened over a period of years, I would say, not even months. It kept on happening day in, day out.
So, as you mentioned earlier, that your first startup failed. So, how did you cope up with that since it was first startup? So, it's
Honestly, there was no time again. So I did not realize that, okay, it's totally gone now. Again, because I was too occupied working on the next thing. So yeah, but yeah, then back,
that's a
I always introspect. I always try to think what is it that I can learn from that experience and make sure that I don't repeat the mistakes this time.
So as your life has been like a full learning experience and you're not stopping when you fail and moving on to the other thing, what advice would you like to give students and what uh, would you like to say who want to be entrepreneurs, the students who will graduate or have graduated?
What advice would I like to give them? Okay. I think one thing that I would definitely love to tell everyone is just follow your heart, because your heart has all the answers. Okay. Probably it does not know the how part, how to make it happen, but it definitely knows the why, right? Why of what you want to do. How is something that can be figured out, right? Using the brain, of course. So yeah, try to go deep inside of yourself and try to find out what is it that you love doing, what is your dream, right? Uh, Once you have your dream with you, I think the rest, everything will just keep on, unfolding in front of you, slowly and gradually. It's going to be a painful process. It's going to be a tiresome process, right? But yes, the excitement is real. It's it's amazing. It's an amazing experience. You feel alive every single day. So just keep on, believing in yourself. Maybe you feel that there'll be a lot of doubts, a lot of self-doubt will be there, but you have to still constantly believe in yourself and do what you love doing, not something that you just want to do for the sake of it. Are we done?
No, no, no.
Or
Janvi,
Okay, no, yeah.
you
Before,
okay, honestly, tell
I
me,
was absorbed.
before you're thinking, what is my dream? What is it that I love doing?
you need to think on that.
Actually,
Absolutely.
I was thinking. That actually made me think. So,
That's
So yeah, let me be the one to question now.
okay.
so we have
Let me ask you my favorite
we have
question.
last.
What's
No, we
your
have one segment.
Yeah, we have just a segment and the conclusion. Then we'll come to your questions and answer it.
okay, done?
So before coming to an end, we have a fun segment, this or that. Where you will be given two choices. You have to choose one. So
Okay,
movies or books,
movies.
Buying online or in store.
Online, of course.
call or text.
Call anytime.
This question is very much related to you. Human mind or artificial intelligence?
Of course, human mind.
Planned or the spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment.
Elon Musk or Bill Gates?
Sorry, come again.
Elon Musk or Bill Gates?
Elon Musk. I think he's much more crazy.
Oh, you love crazy stuff.
Absolutely, I'm one of them.
Okay. Now coming to the conclusion, I will have to say that this is the end of this segment and sadly this episode. We absolutely thank Jyoth for spending this absolutely amazing time with us and sharing some valuable insights. You can follow her on all the social media platforms, which will be linked in the comments below. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. It was, lovely talking to both of you, and you all did grill me with a lot of questions. Now it's